I tried to shoot him. He did.
A gunman has been overpowered and disarmed.
I'm still missing the handgun. The handgun is missing. Can we just look under chairs?
He's unconscious on the floor, arms tied behind his back.
Yeah. It's somewhere here. Yeah, it's going to be down here.
The men who did it would later be hailed as heroes by the leaders of two countries for averting a bloodbath. The suspected terrorist was heavily armed, assault rifle, handgun, and ammunition. American serviceman Alex Galatos was one of the men who tackled the gunman.
I saw a guy entering the train with an AK and a handgun, and I just looked over at Spencer and said, "Let's go." And he jumped up, and I followed behind him by about 3 seconds. Spencer got to the guy first, grabbed the guy by the neck, and I grabbed the handgun, got the handgun away from the guy and threw it. And then I grabbed the AK, which was at his feet. We were scared for sure, but I mean, adrenaline mostly just took over because, I didn't even have time to think. I didn't even realize or fully comprehend what was going on. I honestly didn't even believe it. It felt like it was a dream or a movie or something, like even now looking back.
US Air Force member Spencer Stone was the first to throw himself at the attacker. He was stabbed during the fight and is being treated in hospital. Travelling with the two men, student Anthony Sadler.
In the aftermath, we saw that a man's throat had been slit and he was bleeding profusely. And Spencer, who has some paramedic training, just clogged up his neck so he wouldn't die because he was losing a lot of blood.
The gunman had chosen a high-speed train travelling from Amsterdam to Paris. There were 500 passengers on board, all potential sitting targets, trapped with nowhere to run or hide. The 26-year-old Moroccan suspect was arrested at Arras, 100 miles north of the French capital, where the train eventually stopped. Some reports suggest he was known to Spanish and French security agencies. Belgium investigators are involved too. French officials have now revealed more about the moments before the planned attack. The gunman was first discovered by a French traveller trying to use the toilet.
J'ai tenu à venir ici à Arras d'abord pour rendre visite.
I wanted to come to Arras first of all to visit the people who were wounded and the people who were affected by the barbaric violence. 2 people were wounded. One American, who is one of those who contributed to neutralizing this very violent passenger.
The Americans have been hailed as heroes. So too a British man who later joined in to restrain the attacker.
I came in at the end of it all, and I guess it just helped to get the guy under control at the end of it all. We ended up by tying him up. Then during the process, the guy actually came out. He pulled out a cutter and started cutting Spencer. He cut Spencer behind the neck. He nearly cut his thumb off. Spencer held him, and we eventually got him under control. We got the terrorist. He went unconscious, I think.
Learning of the news in America, Mr. Sadler's parents, proud and relieved.
We're still catching up to it. He leaves here a young man on an excursion to broaden his worldview and have fun with his buddies, and he comes back a France's national hero.
A massacre has almost certainly been averted by the selfless heroism of a few brave men. Otherwise, this could have ended very differently. Ashish Joshi, Sky News.